y'all, this is Marley K. Hope y'all are well. Got a WW3 update for you. It is not to incite fear, it is a data point for you to understand where we are in the state of the failed state that we are hostages in. As Yasharel, I believe that it is very important for us to know our enemies so that we can develop our own countermeasures to defend ourselves and to protect ourselves from whatever they have planned. Because we know at the end of the day, everything that they do is about us. So, with that said, let's get into it. So, I got a story from the Miami Herald. It came out on yesterday. And it is about the fact that China has been approved to build a spy base in Cuba, which is 90 miles away from Florida. And if you have ever been to Key West on a good clear day, you can look across the ocean and you can see almost a little bit tip of Cuba. So that is how close we are to this threat. And I want to talk about it because, again, if you live close to the ocean, if you are on the East Coast, if you live in Florida, these are threats that we need to take seriously. We need to be trying to figure out, what's going on at all times, again, so that we can be, proactive instead of reactive. So let me read you this story, and it's from the Miami Herald editorial board. So it's an opinion and commentary, but I appreciate it because I've been watching these things develop over the last couple of years. And, anytime you say something about America possibly being attacked, everybody think it's so far-fetched and it's, you're just a conspiracy theorist. These things are not going to happen. And thankfully, because I'm confident in my gifts that the Most High give me, I just kind of, ignore the ignorance that other people share, but, just because they can't see what I see. But this is a real threat. It's been a threat for a minute, but so many other things have been going on. People really haven't been paying attention to it. So I just want to mention it so that it will stay on your radar. Again, it's not a point of contention. It shouldn't be where we are competing against one another or, really seeing stuff as, a competition. It is really not a competition. There are things that other people can see that I don't see. And, that's their calling, that's their blessing. That's what the Most High got them looking at. And my calling is my calling. And so, we may not agree on everything because you can't see what I see and I can't see what you see. But, we have to learn how to trust each other and to take information, synthesize it, tuck it away, and understand the times that we're living in. We can't afford to not go deeper and prod more and investigate more, because at the end of the day, as long as we live on this earth, we are responsible for protecting ourselves. As you see, our people are very lost, very green when it comes to what is going on with this NWO. And like, the PC people, they don't believe that they got enemies that will come over here and their enemies riding together to take this thing down, whether it's by design or whether it's because it's some get back, whatever, it doesn't matter what the reason is. the impact is that we will be impacted negatively by whatever it is that they do, because we are the least protected people. So that's why I want to talk about this. So let's get into it. All right, so it says, remember the Chinese spy balloon flying over the United States earlier this year? The one the Biden administration said had been capable of collecting intelligence before the U.S. shot it down off the coast of South Carolina. Now there's a new threat coming from the Dragon. It's a lot more blatant, and it's just 90 miles away in Cuba. China is establishing a spy base in Cuba, according to information first reported by the Wall Street Journal. It would be focused on the United States and give Chinese intelligence agencies a way to track electronic communication in the southwestern U.S., though the region covered would include U.S. Southern Command in Miami-Dade County and other military facilities. So, because I'm quite familiar with the area and the bases down there, I'm not going to say what's there, but it's a huge threat. The state of Florida is a huge threat. Um, a lot of our resources are in Florida. And I don't know if they are still there. I know at one point a lot of these resources were being moved to other places because of threats of hurricanes. And I kind of feel like they were doing like they did in on the West Coast, or like they're doing on the West Coast. They're relocating resources because they anticipate an East Coast, West Coast affront. In addition to the invaders that have already come through the border. So, it's all but done. That's just my opinion. It's my 2 cents. So, we just have to look at how these things will impact us moving forward. But definitely, if you're in a large city, if you're in a large state, if you're close to water where, we can easily be invaded, you are at risk. So you need to always keep those things at the forefront of your minds and plan accordingly. Can't have those types of conversations here on the YT because y'all know how they do. But I will see if I can get Watchman Nehemiah, who has some military experience, a lot of military experience, to come and talk about some things for my audience who may not have that military background, so you can kind of get an idea of what could happen if there's a threat here on our soil. All right, so this Dragon Cuba cooperation, if true, is an aggressive new step in a growing problem for the United States. And that ties into that other story where I think I did it a couple of weeks ago about the Monroe Doctrine, where basically nobody on earth would touch the Western Hemisphere because it belonged to the United States. The Americas, Mexico, the Caribbean, even though the Caribbean belonged to the UK and America are cousins. So, they had this respectful relationship with one another, and they respected the boundaries. But now everything has changed because the West is going down. So the enemies are emboldened, and they are staking out their new territories. And so, they have already been doing exercises in South America. They already have relationships with Jamaica, Barbados, Cuba, some of the other Caribbean countries. So it's just a matter of time before something happens. It's a matter of time before something happens. So I'm just going to say that. It's a matter of time. They've been plotting for quite some time, and it seems everybody's comfortable. They are overt. Nobody's hiding nothing anymore. And so if they ain't hiding, that means y'all need to be paying attention. So this says, While Dragon is considered to be the most consequential threat to the U.S., as well as its primary economic rival, it is making strong inroads in Latin America. That has been a concern for years. The war in Ukraine has added a new source of tension between the U.S. and China, with the worry that China might provide arms to Russia looming over everything. And this is China, not Russia. So that this secret deal to create an eavesdropping facility is with China, not Russia, runs counter to recent speculation that Russia was planning to reopen its spy base in Lourdes, a town near Havana. That was based in part on reports of Russian officials and diplomats traveling to the island. Cuban leaders also have been supportive of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Amid all of that, the Biden administration has been working to improve its relationship with China, which hit a new low after the spy balloon incident. At the same time, though, there is a rising concern among members of Congress and the State Department about China's growing foothold in Latin America and the Caribbean. China, as the Miami Herald reported, is the largest trading partner for South America. Free trade deals between Latin American countries and China are becoming more common. The trend toward more China deals on Florida's doorstep is clear. The choice of Cuba as a partner for China, though, isn't all that surprising. China already may have a listening post in Bujikal, a town south of Havana. And the island is desperate for cash, which is true because I got a notice yesterday that some of the money transfer places in Florida are now allowed to send cash to certain bank cards, which we were not able to do before. So there's something going on for sure. Where some sanctions have been lifted, something is going on where people here are able to send money directly to Cubans. We've not been able to do that for quite some time. And the island is desperate for cash. Russia is straining under the cost of the Ukraine war, but China has cash to spend. It will reportedly pay billions of dollars to Cuba for the ability to set up this spy base. The U.S. must respond. So, what can be done to blunt this threat so close to our coastline? Assistant Secretary for Western Hemisphere Affairs Brian Nichols, the State Department's top diplomat for the region, called this moment the most challenging he has seen in 30 years in this hemisphere. That's an alarm bell that has to be heeded. The Biden administration must act with urgency to help governments in the region succeed so they don't need to turn to China for help. So now they're like, oh, we got to be nice to people. We got to help folks. We got to. It's too late. It's too late. You know, sadly, the pilgrims have told their draws all over the world. Nobody wants nothing to do with the West. Um, Everybody is sick of the dominant society's rule, and so they're ready to try something else. We're going to try these different set of PC people. We're going to try these different brown people, and maybe they'll work with us better, or maybe they'll do things for us. Now, what they don't understand is supremacy, and they just are not going to be any better. They'll be nice in the short term, but in the long term, you're going to be getting screwed like a lot of these African countries who borrow money from the dragon and can't make the payments. Uh, in the end, helping other countries to help themselves is the only real safeguard likely to work. So here it is. We want to help people, not just for the sake of we done stole their stuff or we left them over there, after slavery and we need to pay reparations and leave them alone. We need to help them so that we can protect ourselves. Y'all know y'all is not pleased with that, and that's not gonna work no more. This state is going to fall. And so we need to be comfortable with that. We need to be prepared for that. And we need to um, try to disengage from the system as much as possible. And that's why, I've been preaching for the last year. So come out of her. Do not get caught up in the system. Don't send your children to serve nothing. If you work for the government, you better be trying to get out of it. If you rely on it for resources, you better be trying to find a new way, another way. If you rely on it for your daily sustenance, you better be trying to get back to the basics and do what the Most High told us to do. Work by the sweat of your own brow, grow your own food, build your own stuff, um, and learn how to do without. The time is coming where we're going to be attacked on all sides. We're going to get it from the PC people here. We're going to get it from their grandfathers that are here. We're going to get it from the countries of the world, because everybody knows that it's judgment time. So they're going to be trying to annihilate us. We're going to be getting it from outside, because we're in the belly of the beast. We're going to endure a lot of troubles because of war that is going to happen here. We're going to have to deal with famine, because with the drought that is partially man-made, partially judgment, we're going to have to deal with less food. We're going to have to deal with a lot of things. We're going to have to deal with pestilences, rumors of war, civil war, national war. Um, it's so many things. Oh, I didn't even tell you about the aliens, honey. We got to deal with them. Whatever they got, the alien / fallen angels, whatever's coming, we got to deal with that too. So there are so many things that we have to deal with, and we just need to grow up, deal with it. It's already been prophesied, already been talked about, um, how family members are going to turn against family members, and our children are going to turn against the parents, and the parents going to turn against the children. Those times are here. Whenever they unleash, or whenever the restrainer is removed, it is going to be wild. It's just, you think this stuff that I'm talking about is coming faster than you can keep up with. I mean, just imagine not knowing stuff that's coming because you won't have power, you won't have internet, or you won't have TV. Like, we really have to prepare ourselves for what's coming. So, you know, keep prepping, keep praying, seeking the Most High, keep repenting of your sins. Continue to pray that our brothers and sisters wake up, and that we will discover who we are, so that we can come together, cry out together, and hopefully be found worthy to escape what is coming upon this fallen world, because it is all but done. And when Babylon falls, I don't want to be here. But if I have to be here, I would like to be in a place where there's grace, and I escape it. I barely feel anything. So let us do what we can to continue to prepare and keep an eye out on what's happening in the world. This is a data point, not meant to incite fear, just to give you some knowledge about what's happening. Our enemies are getting closer. And so we need to understand. I'm not going to say our enemies, it's their enemies, but indirectly, they are our enemies too, because the dominant society has made it so that nobody likes us. And that too is prophesied, but at least you know. All right, y'all. Please like this video, share it, subscribe to the channel. Please hit the bell notification so that you can get all the notifications when I upload new content. Please subscribe to Odyssey and Rumble in the event that this channel is taken down. Check me out on social media. The links are in the description. If you'd like to support the channel, links are also in the description. I appreciate all the support and any support that I get. I don't have any affiliates, and this is a labor of love. I'm doing the Lord's work. All right, y'all, this is Marla K, and I'm out of here.